That's the new trick, Jim. Come on, Catherine, let's see you do it. As soon as somebody watches, it gets hard. Well, I was going to write this on the board, but there's no room there. Catherine, what you're practicing is that there's actually a practice or a principle in Tai Chi that you're practicing. It's called Zhong Ding. Zhong is the same as Tan Zhong. Zhong means center. And ding means an upward going energy like this. So Zhong Ding is a central upward going energy. And what they're particularly talking about is having an erect spine, right? So you're tall. You're as tall as you really are. But the stick is a perfect metaphor for that, right? You're holding it in the center, right? And of course, it's vertical too. So you're practicing Zhongding. I wasn't going to do this, but as long as we're doing this, let me do this, right? You guys can keep hold of your sticks a minute. Do you all remember over the weekend we spent quite a bit of time, if I remember right, in all the classes talking about how to do the shift from this side to this side in the second move. And I talked about your hips sliding and opening your knee on the left and et cetera, et cetera. So it should look like this. What I didn't say is all those little tricks that you need to practice in doing that. Keeping your knee open, opening your pelvis, sinking your quad, uh, your hips gliding. Those are all in service to something else. And I didn't even mention that because it what it's in service to is kind of a higher level thing. But you got to get the foundation first. What it's in service to is Zhong Ding, Catherine's little game. Catherine's little game is not a little game. It Zhong Ding. There are 13 energies in Tai Chi, right? Peng Lu Ji An Sai Le Zhou Kao, right? Left, right, forward, back. Zhong Ding. The first energy is Peng. The 13th energy is Zhong Ding. Those two are the most important, the beginning and the end. All right? When you make that shift, what you have to do is keep your torso and your spine upright and ready at any moment because you might be in the middle of a move and the move doesn't work out. Your opponent compromises your move, and so you have to be ready to change at any given moment, right? So if you're doing a movement like this, right, and he compromises you, you have to be ready to walk away from it at any moment, right? You can't do that if you're not balanced. And Zhong Ding, as Catherine just showed us, Zhong Ding is about balance. It's about keeping your whole body in balance all the time. James, I love your new look here, your new computer look. That's great, right? So we worked on that one particular move because it's a very difficult move. It's very difficult to keep your Zhongding in that move. Maybe more difficult than almost any other move in the form, right? And it's right at the beginning of the form, so it's this huge challenge at the beginning of the form. But the truth is, you need to maintain Zhongding all the way through the form, right? Every move. You can't do this, right? You can't do this. You have to stay upright. Now, it's not mechanical, but it's a kind of organic uprightness as you do this. The same is true. We've all got our sticks out, so we can do a stick form here. But the same is true with the stick form. As you do Tai Chi and Qigong, you should develop a lot of strength in your legs, your butt, your lower back, your abs, and then it's going to come up into your chest and upper back, and finally to your arms, your neck, and your head. It starts at the ground and works its way up. And as you develop that strength in your body and flexibility, then you can maintain Zhongding without any trouble. And everything plays off Zhongding, right? So let's do a stick form here. That little movement that we just started with, those 3 pumps that we did, if you do them correctly, they play off Zhongding. What you should be practicing is lifting your chi up your back, over the top of your head and down your front, under your crotch, and then up your back again, over your head, down your front, up around, under your crotch, up your back again, over your head, down your front. So you're practicing the microcosmic orbit all the way around, all 360 degrees. But in the center of that egg, right up the center, right? There's the back on one side and the front on the other, but in the center is the Zhongding, is your central channel, Zhong Mai. And the Zhong Mai is what creates Zhongding. So as you do this, be aware that there are 3 channels going on, up the back, down the front, right? But there's also the central channel. So you're stretching it, and then you're allowing it to just relax and condense. And then you stretch it again, and it relaxes and condenses. And it stretches again, and it relaxes and condenses. When you stretch your Zhongding, there's a temptation to think, just to think about the upper end stretching up, because we're sort of oriented toward the upper end. But the truth is, it's also going down, right? So you can think of the Zhongding starting in the Danqian. Part of it grows up when it stretches, part of it grows down when it stretches. So it stretches down as well as up. And now both the top and the bottom condense back into the center. And then it stretches down and up and condenses back into the center. And stretches and condenses, right? That may seem like a little thing, but you are running your energy body through its paces first thing in the morning. You're waking up your energy body and just giving it a little exercise as you go along. Now we're going to move from there right into the first move. You should continue doing the same thing. The move's a little different. The energy channels use that you're using may be a little different, but there's always ZHONG Ding. ZHONG Ding. Now the second move. ZHONG Ding. Wow, wow. Really stretching up, but also stretching down into the ground. All right? Stretch and stretch. And again, stretch and stretch down as well as up. Stretch. Stretch. Okay, we'll go on in a minute. The point is, the stretching is the exercise. It's not the stick. It's the stretching. The stick is just a way to get to the stretch. All right? And a lot of folks especially in America, don't know that. They think the stick is the point of it, right? Well, the stick is fun. It's a lot of fun to do, but it's really about the stretch. I'm coming up into my Tanzhong, but not everything can come up into the Tanzhong. If something's going to come up, then something also has to go down to the bottom of my feet. Right? Relax and up into my chest and the bottom of my feet. And the chest and the bottom of my feet. Right? Or that's a way to think about it. Now that move, we'll continue in a minute, that move looks at the first glance like it's violating that principle. I'm not keeping my center exactly straight up and down. No, I'm bending way over. But as you do it, at least as I do it, what I really feel is my spine. So again, it's about ZHONG Ding. It's about the center. Bring your weight over to the right foot, and then I'm stretching from the bottom of my right foot all the way out to the tip of my right hand. And yes, of course, I'm bending my ZHONG Ding, but I know I'm bending my ZHONG Ding. And the other side. Weight to the left. So when you're done with the stretch, it's going from the forward foot up the inside of the leg and really stretching the hamstrings in here, right? And then it's going up through my body and out this arm. So it's coming from the right foot to the left arm when I'm done. Right? In a certain way, this leg doesn't even matter, right? The left leg. It's the right leg. This move is one of my favorites. I really love this move. It's a complex move and it really challenges your balance. And what allows you to go through all these permutations and challenge your own balance is your internal zhongding, your internal sense of uprightness and balance. So when I'm doing this move, right, sure, I'm paying attention to this, but this movement is based off this inner column, right? And it turns. Now we're going to go through this big twist. Watch your internal column, even though it may bend a little bit. That strength of that internal column is what makes that rather challenging bend easy. So when you are practicing that particular move, wow, you know, it's pretty complex. You're doing all this stuff. You're moving the stick. You're doing this. You're twisting and bending. It's really easy to get lost in the outside. But instead, think about your central column as you go through this whole exercise. Okay, move number 5. All right. Okay, this move is all about the internal column, right? It's that column inside and the strength of that column, the zhongding, that allows you to do these moves, that allows me to do this. If you're going to make a movement like this, there has to be something that it plays off of. Imagine you're shooting an arrow. Boom, right? You're shooting an arrow. There's got to be a bow there. And it's true the bow is curved, but if you think of the top and the bottom of the bow, it's actually in a straight line. And you bend the bow, and then boom, you let go, and the bow turns into a straight line again, right? It's the same thing here. Right? Your body is the bow. The stick is the arrow. You can feel it inside. And then turn. And you can feel you're playing that central channel. You know, the reason most people never get to this part of the stuff is, and it doesn't matter whether you're doing Tai Chi or Qigong, you'd be doing any kind of exercise. But the reason most people never really get to the core of an exercise is they never do it long enough. They're not persistent enough. You got to do it every day, month after month, year after year, until you finally unlock the exercise. Now, when you're doing this exercise, don't bend over too much. Just go down, and just go down as far as is comfortable for you. Keep that zhong ding. Okay, you can put your sticks away. I'm going to play a couple of short clips of our models. All right, both the woman model who does this form and maybe the guy model who does some of the other forms. And what I want you to watch is their ZHONG Ding. Okay, here's a perfect example. All right. Look how straight her back is and how straight her legs are. And she's got her head tilted back at 90 degrees. Now, I can't do this. And I'm not suggesting any of you should do this either. But you have to look at what they're actually doing and why they're doing it. So, in a sense, this is kind of the ideal. Watch her central column. Right? And she's just getting ready to move here, but now watch her straighten everything from the side. All right, and then again, it's hard to see, but her back is straight. And now she straightens out. All right, look how straight her back is. Straightens everything out. Okay, let's watch. Let's watch this guy. Look how straight his back is. Look how straight his legs are. Now he's letting his back bend now so he can get the neck bend in there. And then he straightens his back out again. Look how straight it is. again, straight. Okay, I can't do what they're doing. I can't straighten up that much. But you should know that's what you should be going for, and work on it a little bit. You know, when I've got the stick, right, and I go all the way down, that's about as far as I can go. And to go any further, I have to bend my knees and bend my back a little bit. But in the middle of that kind of cheating, I can still push it a little bit into it. You know what I mean? You just work on the stretch. It might take you a year or 2 years of daily practice to be able to do it like she's doing it. But you just work on it gently. Just don't hurt yourself in the meantime. Um, Catherine, you know what I mean. All right? Don't overdo it. All right? Just be a little gentle with yourself. You know, go half an inch into it, not 6 inches into it, and just work it up very slowly over time. Okay, any comments? Any questions? Come on, Catherine, you've got a comment.
Yeah, I don't have a comment. It's just that watching the models, I realize how much work I have to do to get it just right, actually, not even like perfect or good, just right. Because watching her again, I mean, each little mini movement is perfect in her form. The way she moves from there is, and you can almost see the flow in her moves, which is like really beautiful.
Yes.
The flow is what I would like to achieve one day in this life or another, but
Well, I feel exactly the same way. However, remember, she's not perfect either.
no.
So you guys remember when she was doing this one, right?
Yeah.
And she's backing up, she has trouble moving her foot. So her balance in that move is not as good as it might be. So even the greats are not perfect. Everybody's working on something. Um, the nice, you know, when you're doing moves like this and paying attention to zhongding and to stretching, you truly are doing a kind of yoga. This really is Chinese yoga. And for me, anyway, the positive benefits from this, I'm trying to find a way to explain this. Anybody who's worked on complex machines, so a car, or I just mowed the lawn, a lawnmower, for instance, knows that over time, mechanisms begin to run down. They begin to collect a little entropy, a machine. So you get things that should be sharp become dull. Things that should be well lubricated become dry, etc., etc. Well, the same thing is true with our bodies, right? Things that should be sharp become a little dull. Things that should be well lubricated become a little dry and become more difficult to move. For me, the worst places are my lower back and my knees. And that's often true for most people. As you get a little older, your knees and your lower back get a little dry. So you have to lubricate them. And one of the ways to lubricate them is to do these kinds of exercises. But you have to do just a little bit at a time. So when you do a move like that last one, move number 6, 7, there's kind of 2 ways to do it. If you can do it perfectly, that's great. You go ahead and do it perfectly. I can't do it perfectly. So I have 2 choices. One is I can go all the way down to the ground. I can manage that. But when I do, I can't keep my legs straight. So I have to bend my knees a little bit. And I'm going to bend my back a little bit. That's the only way I can get all the way down to the ground. So you can do it that way. You know, you can get all the way down to the ground, and then you work to straighten your knees a little bit, straighten your back a little bit when you're all the way down. So when I'm all the way down, now I work to straighten my back and straighten my knees, right? I can't get it all the way, but I can maybe go halfway there. That's the first way to do it. The second way to do it is to only go down as far as you can go down and still keep your knees and your back straight. Now for me, that means about my mid-calves. I'm, probably 8-10 inches off the ground. That's the second way to do it. They're both decent ways to do the exercise. If you have any back problems, I suggest you do the second way. Rather than try and go all the way down to the ground, just go down, down to your knees or down halfway down your calves. And that'll relieve some of the pressure on your lower back. Yeah, just go down part way. Okay, any more comments? All right, today was Zhong Ding Day, and it was thanks to Catherine. So let's give Catherine a big hand for her excellent guidance, right? And we'll pick it up there tomorrow, guys. You all have a good day.